This video is actually part of a series of 4. In this video, we're looking at why respiration happens the way that it does. In the first 2 videos, we looked at what respiration is and where it happens. If you haven't watched those 2 videos yet, you might find it helpful to do that first, and the link to those is below. So let's get started. Welcome to BioSmash. I'm Jo, I'm a science teacher, and I'll help you smash your biology revision. You're in an exam. You turn the page over and read the next question. State the equation for aerobic respiration. Your heart sinks and you groan inwardly. You can remember all of the parts of the equation, all of the key words, but you just can't remember what order they go in. In this video, I'll help you to understand the process of respiration, which will make remembering the equation so much easier. I've also made a quiz which is coming up later in the video so that you can check how well you know and understand this topic. So let's start by thinking about what respiration actually is. Respiration describes a process, and that process is releasing energy from sugar. One type of sugar is glucose, and glucose has the chemical formula C6H12O6. So the C tells us that it contains carbon, and the little 6 after the C tells us that it contains 6 atoms of carbon. The H tells us that glucose contains hydrogen, and the O6 tells us that glucose contains 6 atoms of oxygen. So when your body carries out respiration, it's actually breaking down the glucose that you've eaten in order to release energy for your body to use. So every time one molecule of glucose gets broken down to get the energy inside it, this releases lots of atoms. It releases 6 atoms of carbon. The reaction also releases 12 atoms of hydrogen and 6 atoms of oxygen. Another process that releases energy is burning. Burning this match is releasing energy from the wood in the match. Now, this burning reaction needs oxygen. And in the same way that burning needs oxygen to release the energy, so does respiration. So far we know that respiration needs glucose and oxygen. And our body starts by breaking the oxygen and glucose up. This gives us lots of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms. So some of these carbon and oxygen atoms will react to make carbon dioxide, and you can see carbon dioxide contains 1 carbon joined to 2 oxygen atoms. The hydrogen atoms react with the oxygen atoms. Do you know what this makes? It makes water. And you might know that water has got the formula H2O because it's got 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. I really hope you're finding this video helpful. If you are, then please do click subscribe. It will help you to find my other videos. Let's look at the word equation for respiration. So we already know that the ingredients that we need are glucose and oxygen, and they make carbon dioxide and water. So we can write in the formula of glucose, which is C6H12O6. The little number 6 after the C tells us that there are 6 atoms of carbon in glucose. As we mentioned earlier, the carbon atoms become carbon dioxide. So there are 6 atoms of carbon, and because each molecule of carbon dioxide contains 1 carbon atom and 2 oxygen atoms, this means we can make 6 molecules of carbon dioxide. So we write a number 6 before CO2 to show that we're making 6 molecules of carbon dioxide. The 12 after the H in glucose tells us that we've got 12 atoms of hydrogen in glucose. Here are our 12 atoms of hydrogen, and we know that they're going to react to make water, which is H2O. So each molecule of water contains 1 red oxygen atom and 2 blue hydrogen atoms. So because we've got 12 hydrogen atoms, we've got enough hydrogen to make 6 molecules of water. So we write a number 6 before the H2O to show we've got 6 molecules of water. Let's think about how many oxygen atoms we've got. In glucose, there's a 6 after the O, which tells us that there are 6 atoms of oxygen in glucose. But each carbon dioxide molecule contains 2 oxygens, and we've got 6 of them, so that means we'll need 12 oxygen atoms just to make the carbon dioxide. We're also going to make 6 water molecules, and each one contains 1 oxygen atom, so we're going to need another 6 oxygen atoms, so we've got enough to make water. This means in total we need 18 oxygen atoms so that we can make all the carbon dioxide and water molecules we can. Because there are only 6 oxygen atoms in glucose, we need to add another 12 oxygen atoms from the air. Each molecule of oxygen is O2, so it contains 2 atoms of oxygen. So we will need 6 molecules of oxygen to get 12 atoms of oxygen. So now we can add the oxygen, so we write a big 6 to show that we're going to use 6 molecules of oxygen. So there we have it, the word and symbol equation for aerobic respiration. Of course, the reaction also releases energy, which is the whole reason for doing it in the first place. But we tend to write this in brackets because energy isn't a chemical, so it can't be part of a chemical equation. I'm developing some resources to go alongside these videos for those who'd like a little bit more support with their revision. If you're interested, check out the link to the online shop below. Right, time for the quiz to see how much you've remembered and understood. I'm going to show you a series of questions. Each one is talking about aerobic respiration. So, question 1, can you state the 2 substances or chemicals needed for the process of aerobic respiration? So you can either write them down or say them out loud. Question 2, why do living things need to carry out the process of respiration? What's the point of respiration? Question 3, can you state the 2 substances or chemicals that are produced as waste products in aerobic respiration? If you need a bit more time to think, then do pause the video. Number 4, write the word equation for aerobic respiration. If you've managed to answer questions 1, 2 and 3, you should have everything you need to be able to write the word equation. And your final challenge, can you write the symbol equation for aerobic respiration? If you manage to answer questions 1 to 4, you should have everything you need. Just think carefully about the formula of glucose and the number of atoms that you will get when you break that glucose down. So the answers are coming in a couple of seconds, so pause the video now if you need more time to think. So here's the answer to question number 1. The 2 chemicals or substances needed for aerobic respiration are glucose and oxygen. Question number 2. The reason that living things carry out respiration is to release energy, and they need this energy so they can grow and keep warm and move and do all the different processes that living things do. Question 3. The substances or chemicals that are produced as waste products in aerobic respiration are carbon dioxide and water. So we can rearrange all of those answers to write the word equation for aerobic respiration. So you need to put glucose and oxygen at the first part. It doesn't matter what order you write those 2 in. Then you do an arrow and then you put carbon dioxide and water on the other side. And again, it doesn't matter if you write water first or carbon dioxide first. I've also put and energy in brackets, but it doesn't matter if you didn't include that one. Just to mention, you do an arrow, not an equal sign, because glucose and oxygen are not the same as carbon dioxide and water, but glucose and oxygen react to become carbon dioxide and water. And finally, number 5, the symbol equation for aerobic respiration is C6H12O6 plus 6O2, and that makes 6CO2 plus 6H2O. And if you're struggling to remember that, then one tip that I often give is that if you just remember it's 666, so everything other than glucose needs to have a 6 in front of it. Well done for reaching the end of the video. You're working really hard. If there's anything you didn't understand, don't worry. There was a lot in this video, so please do go back and watch it again and keep doing so until you've got all of the key ideas. If you feel you've got the hang of this topic, then why not check out one of my other videos, and I hope to see you again soon.